agents and shared services, right? Just take away from what Mohan has said. What level of human oversight do you think is needed? And when you design touch points, how much human intervention do you think is needed?
It's an interesting question on that, right? So I will see it as a layered approach instead of going all in one basket. So layered in sense of what are those tasks which does not require any human intervention, where there has to be a handshake between human and machine, and then anything only we should leave it to the humans, right? So first level, if I were to put it as like anything like Mohan mentioned, and then Gaurang also started with it. So anything that is related to monotonous tasks, transactional level, like sending emails, dunning emails or so, or just take the remittance details and then applying the cash. So these are the, where there is a low risk and high volume is where I will put it as in machine only. And then when we get into mid, where there is a decision making required, so that's where it's a handshake between human and machine. So example in credit decision, so where the system should not be taking a decision whether to give a credit limit of certain amount or put any payment term on the customer. The system still could go ahead and extract the data required to take a decision for the human, and then the human can take it over from there. And then where there is an critical and complex decisions like be it taking a price decision, or be it a payment term, or negotiating on a certain transaction. That's where the system should leave it to the humans to take a decision. So, well, it should be a coordinated approach instead of AI versus human also. It should be the human should take AI as a co-pilot and then work together is what I would restructure it as.
Where do you think the fastest operational ROI comes from? Are these from decision making, customer interaction, self-service workflows, routing? Where is the quickest ROI cycle right now?
So again, the quickest ROI comes from where there is a low risk and more transaction, right? So where the human intervention need not be there. 20 years before, if I go with, there are around 100 collectors just sending emails to the customers. So in this today's world, we don't say, no one sends an email to the customer, right? I mean, it's an automated dunning that is set up, and it is sequenced. And similarly, cash analyst, even the ERPs, all the ERPs comes with at least 60 to 70% automation by default. And when layers like Emagia, take them from 70 to 90, 95%. But from an role-wise, like these have, they have these orchestration in terms of how the roles are defined, and the so you are also mentioning about how these ROI comes from, right? Where do these ROIs come from? I think these are the roles that we look at. Okay, what are the transactional roles that are there? And then looking at in terms of be it a credit or in deductions, where the decisions are being taken, right? Whether to issue a credit or not, or whether the deduction is valid or invalid. Today's world, the AI agents can define if the deduction is a valid or invalid, but that is backed up by data. There are scenarios we have seen in our real-time use cases where there are decisions beyond data, right? So that is where the ROI is like, okay, ROI is limited to where the data aggregation is there, not the decisioning. So, and then comes the, particularly in the sourcing or the procurement areas where the decisioning is heavy in terms of human interaction. I think that's where we will need to again augment with AI, and then it has to be a balanced approach, is what I say.
How do you ensure that there is responsible AI behavior from avoiding, model drift, bias, or making sure you have maximum autonomy, right, from an execution standpoint?
Absolutely. Because we have seen in the keynote presentation from Veena as well how the roles have been transforming from an cache processor to cache orchestrator also. So I think it's first thing is understanding the AI and then continuous training on that. So it has to start from the analyst level, and then there are no more team leaders as such today. There are more of product owners. So who train the systems and the humans parallelly on how these sync together to work upon. And other is putting those guardrails is important. Like, I mean, one of our speakers also spoke about how do those guardrails work upon. So, and then putting those controls in, and also leveraging on where AI can automate and where human needs to intervene. These guardrails will help us in moving forward with AI, and also on how do we leverage the most out of it. And and it also depends on which area of execution we want to focus on for AI.
One task you'd happily let AI agents take over.
My scheduling,
Your,
my day scheduling.
your day scheduling. One misconception about AI you wish you would disappear.
AI will take my job.
AI will take your job.
Never.
You never know, yeah. One essential skill for the AI-driven workforce.
I think continuous learning, I'll put it as.
Amazing.